Hello, folks, and welcome to In the Crosshairs, presented by Line Sniper, your definitive resource for sports betting content and in-game analysis. And it's your boy here, Joey Knish, and I am with my man, Locky Lockerson, ready to talk some NBA on a Monday. Locky, how are you, baby?
I'm doing great, man. Big Monday, not as a few more games than we're used to on a Monday. Really good games, some marquee teams playing tonight, so excited to break everything down.
Absolutely, absolutely. And let's start it right off with the cream of the crop. Biggest game on the slate. We're going right to Bucks Heat. Couple of Eastern Conference contenders. What you got for me here? Milwaukee on a back-to-back traveling to Miami.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, obviously a huge game for both teams, even just from like a confidence standpoint for both. And you would think Milwaukee, well, why do they need confidence? They're like the best team in the league. They've, lost whatever, single-digit games this season. Why on earth would they need confidence? Well, they've actually played, according to kind of my metrics, I measure the value of each team when the game is played. And just by that value, Milwaukee has actually played the fewest games the entire season against top 10 opponents in the league, meaning that, for a couple of reasons, schedule, they haven't really gotten a couple of their more difficult games yet. But then also when they played some teams, maybe guys were sitting, maybe there were some injuries, fatigue, etc., where the rating for that team was a little down. So Milwaukee, for having a great record, actually hasn't played as many teams against great opponents as, let's say, Houston or the Lakers or the Clippers or teams like that. So they're a little more untested, I think, that people expect in games like this. Now, you turn to the spread, on the other hand, I make this game 3 and we're sitting 3, and I don't price in injuries or fatigue in my initial projection, and then I make additional adjustments for that. So basically what this is telling me is there's no fatigue baked into this number. There's no Middleton injury baked into this number. He sat the front end against Charlotte. They played last night, and questionable listed for this game. I would find it surprising if he played. There has to be some adjustment there. There was an adjustment in the Charlotte game a little bit for him not playing. I know Milwaukee's been really good on back-to-backs, and people like betting them in that situation because they think it's kind of contrarian. But just against an elite opponent who has really, really strong home splits compared to road splits, and in kind of like a weird test game where one of their best players might not be playing, I actually think Milwaukee is strangely vulnerable here. So I'm going to take the Heat plus 3.5, actually widely available now. I'm going to do 3.5 as one of my best bets tonight.
I like it. Los Heat plus 3.5. Let's hit the other game, the other big game, the rotation. We've got Pacers, Spurs. Pacers looking pretty strong at the moment, second half. Spurs, I'm trying to get something going, get back in the playoff picture. What do you got here? Pacers, Spurs for me.
Absolutely. A matchup of a team that I think people are kind of dying to bet on now going forward. The Pacers have started to look a lot better. They had that rough stretch when Oladipo came back. They weren't playing very well. People were betting on them a lot in those games. And now kind of under the radar, they put together a really good run of recent play. Spurs, on the other hand, a couple bad losses in their last 3 games, kind of the opposite, right? And the way I try to handicap NBA, and it's been very successful, is you try to identify a team that's overachieved compared to what the market expects in their last 3 to 5 games. That would clearly be Indiana. And you compare that to their opponent and how they've done in the last 3 to 5 games, that would be the Spurs, who have underachieved significantly. When you match those two teams together and you match their metrics together, that creates just inherent line value on San Antonio tonight. So as an example, I make this game Spurs by 1. That's my kind of true line for this game. LaMarcus Aldridge is doubtful. He's missed the last few games. I actually think I have a pretty good adjustment for him baked into this number already, where I kind of trust at least like a pick to -1, something like that. And we're seeing Pacers now 2.5, 2 probably the most widely available of the numbers. So again, kind of just a wrong number, but probably a wrong number that's created by one team that's just, kind of killed it recently, won a lot of games, versus a team that hasn't covered whatsoever recently and has some bad losses. So maybe a little buy low spot on San Antonio playing a home game. I'll take the value here. Spurs plus 2 would be my next bet.
I like it. So we got 2 early best bets. Heat plus 3, plus 3.5. Pacers plus 2. Lock hit you with the best bets. And now when we
Spurs
come
plus
back,
2, by the way. Spurs plus 2 before the let's give the people we don't it's the first segment. We don't want to confuse me. Everybody's having their morning coffee, afternoon lunch, whatever. We don't want to confuse them. Spurs plus 2 is the second best bet.
Spurs plus 2. Don't have Joey Knish input your bets because you'll win that bet. Spurs plus 2. Heat plus 3.5. We'll be back with the NBA rapid fire rotation. Joey Knish and Locky Lockerson. We'll be right back here on Line Sniper.